Set your butane torches to high and your expectations to low. Coming to you live from Just the Tip Cigars in the hills of the Steel City. Get ready to get your fix. This is the Cigar Junkies Podcast. Welcome to the Cigar Junkies Podcast, a cigar show for the community by the community. A forum that talks stogies, booze, food, and anything else in the cigar lifestyle. If you're looking for ratings, negativity, reviews, or an authority on all things cigars, you came to the wrong place. Whether you like what you hear or not, please join the conversation and let us know by finding us at the Cigar Junkies Facebook group or emailing us at thecigarjunkies@gmail.com.
What's up, junkies?
Greetings from the South Hills of Northern Siberia.
Yeah, with those wind.
It is weather out there. There's weather.
Better than Buffalo.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how I chose to title the episode thus far.
Oh.
Shuffle off the Buffalo?
No, Pittsburgh becomes Buffalo, essentially. Something like that. No, I actually think I named the episode the one after the last one.
Okay.
I figured it's episode 101. I don't have to keep trying anymore. You know what I mean?
It's not inaccurate. It's just... It's the one.
I mean, they could all be that. What if we just named them all that from now on? The first one, the last one, and the one after the last.
Won't be great on that.
Yeah, probably not.
Maximum effort, buddy. Maximum effort.
Yeah. So on the way over here, what would you categorize the field down the road? Is that the South Park Fairgrounds? What do you call that? So I'm driving in, and like, there's no weather, but there's wind. Like, there's no precipitation. But there is a 50-foot diameter column of snow 100 feet high in the middle of that field, just where the snow is just going off the field and up into the sky.
Yeah. Snow comes up, Charlie Brown.
It is like,
snow comes up.
It looks like a fucking gravitational anomaly, like from a video game. Like if you were in a video game, you'd be like, there's a box up there I have to get, and I'm going to go jump up, and the wind's going to carry me up to it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
If they taught me anything.
Oh, what game was that? I was trying to think of.
A lot of them. Mario. For one,
I mean, yes, that one does it for sure. I'm just trying to think of what game it was I was big on. But anyways, how's your week?
Pretty good. I can't remember. There was nothing special, so we did the show since we had the Strum Junkie show last Saturday. So pretty much not eventful. Drove over to Plum yesterday for my uncle's 60th birthday party. Got my grandpap drunk. It was great. It's a little concerning because he uses like one of those little seats with 4 wheels and handles.
Yeah.
Like not a legit wheelchair.
So basically a walker with a seat on it.
Yeah.
Yes. To get around. And it's like he got up to start going somewhere. And I'm like, maybe somebody should be watching him, like spotting.
Spotting.
You know?
Somebody should be making sure he's going to make it.
Yeah, it's like, Pap, I don't know if you should be drinking and driving. You know, but he was pretty tore up, but it was greatly amusing. And my grandma didn't even hit me this time, so that was good.
We didn't drop the F-bomb in front of her either.
That wasn't my grandma.
Oh, that's right. That was her grandma.
Else's grandma, yeah. Somebody else's great grandma that I dropped the F-bomb in front of. That was Thanksgiving. No, I did say the S word, and I apologize for it.
Really, bro?
That's your cue.
That was,
really?
Instead of a rim shot, they're just going to start knocking over ashtrays.
I was waiting for
do that.
Shit. God damn. This is why you can't have nice things.
Right?
See, what you do
is
anytime somebody knocks an ashtray over, if it dents it, you get them to initial the dent.
There you go.
I was thinking just.
I don't know if you want to encourage it. By the way, those cigar rests do
they snap right off.
Snap right off. Yeah. They're pretty easy. Yeah, it took me like 18 different adhesives to figure out how to get it back on.
Solder.
Yeah.
I have a customer that's a welder. I'll be like, Ryan, fix this, please, and that's it.
I swear to God, I thought he had the they had a name for the NES gun.
Oh, the light gun.
Yeah, what was the name for it though, Jason?
I'm pretty sure it was just the light gun.
Yeah, I think that's.
I thought there was a name for it. Looked just like it.
That's just tack welding.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know what it's made out of. It's probably stainless steel, so soldering won't work.
Right.
Was it called the Zapper? No.
It might have been called
the Zapper light gun. Dapper light gun.
Okay, where are we going with this?
Nowhere necessarily. That's just what that thing looked
That's
like,
what he
and I
thought he
wanted to
had.
know.
That was
Oh,
he had
he's
that
got
little,
the little
vacuum.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
it looks just like the Nintendo gun.
Hmm.
Makes me think of that little asshole dog.
Which
Fucking
one?
laugh at me for my bag marksmanship and Duck Hunt.
Oh,
Remember the dog? Yeah,
What
fucking
was the
snicker at you.
other? There were like only 2 games that were really popular with the light gun for Nintendo. One of them was Duck Hunt, and the other one was Hogan's Alley.
never played anything other than the Duck Hunt.
It was like a little
What up, Jake? How's Patty Cakes? How's John Curcio?
like
Skateboard?
dudes would pop up out of windows and shit, and like
Oh, that'd be cool.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember that one. How was your week?
It was good. I worked the day shift all week. I was on time for work all week too.
Yeah.
So
I was not.
No.
As in, I didn't show up. I was supposed to work on Monday, and I didn't realize it because they had updated the schedule late, and I didn't see it. So they put me in the other department this week on midnights, and the way the schedule read, it looked like I was doing 2 12-hour shifts or 2 12s and 2 8s. And I was like, oh, okay, that's my week. And so, like, my wife, so, like, my weekend was rough, right? Like, after doing, so I did forget about something. We had Strum Junkie show fucking very late Saturday. Then Sunday, we had this show. And then after I went home, I had a plumber come because my basement sewage drains were backed up.
Yeah.
I mean, like, backed up. Everything from upstairs was coming up downstairs. And I couldn't do anything about it. And I was, like, debating. I hate calling people to do shit that I, have the ability to do. But I'm like, this is kind of iffy. I have, like, one of those little gun snakes that goes on your drill.
Yeah.
Like a little 25-footer. And it wasn't getting it done. I was getting nowhere. And so I did call a plumber up. And I was like, man, I probably should have just went to Home Depot for $600 and got the big sewer snake.
$600 to rent a sewer snake?
No, to buy
it.
Oh.
Because I'm like, it's probably going to cost me at least $500 for them to come. Well, so they come.
Yeah, they're not bad.
They charge like $300 to do the snake, and it didn't work. So it was going in and out of it. It was like a slimy clog. It would just go through and come back and close back up. So they had to use the like, it's a pressure washer.
It's a water
They
jet,
put a
yeah.
camera in there and fucking pressure washer, and that shit ended up being like $922. So I'm like, well, at least I didn't buy the snake for nothing,
Sure.
And so, like, at least I felt my
Better
man
on it.
ego was like, I couldn't have done this.
Yeah.
So the guy's like ready to leave, and I'm like, shit, $900. How much is one of those fucking pressure washer things? He's like, oh, like 20 grand. I was like, oh.
Yeah, for like the whole setup like that, yeah.
I was like, yeah, I could probably just call you guys, I guess,
Yeah.
as long as it's only like once every 15 years or something.
Yeah, because you got to think
I'll eat the 900.
the end of that water jet is flexible,
Oh yeah.
right? So
it's
that
a
not only
It's
does
got
it,
multiple nozzles on it.
not only does it have to be flexible, it has to be able to hold that amount of pressure. You know, if they're putting like 1500 psi down in there or something like that, it's got to be able to withstand that and not fucking whip around like the trunk of an elephant who's taking a little too much cocaine.
Should just called the coil team from fucking the oil field days.
I watched that picture pop up in your head. And you were like,
No,
that's kind of a fun picture.
Helicopter. That's where I was debating how to make the association. I was like, I'm just gonna call it out.
Yeah.
Curcio, it's plenty warm in here. And what up, Chris Scales? Howdy.
You got them ahead of me, so you'll have to keep up on them.
Did you ever see the
This
little
one does
the
that.
I
little
got 'em
video
now.
with the baby elephant that's just fucking whipping
Yeah.
the goddamn trunk around up in the air?
So many good memes came from that. What is it? Me getting out of the, it's a woman's like, me just innocently getting out of the shower. My husband be like,
Oh, and the
it's
elephant
just that.
whipping it around.
I like the one where the fucking girl's getting ready to take a shower, and she like fucking looks around, like checks the whole floor of the house to make sure nobody's there.
Mhm.
And she closes the bathroom door and like just starts to pull her shirt up, and then fucking turns around. Her husband's standing right next to her. I'm like, that is me, 100%. That is accurate.
Yeah, but are you like the creepy one that you're just like,
Yes. Yes.
Oh no. See, I just walk in the bathroom and go, and she goes, just look in already, asshole, and get it over with.
Mm.
It's more fun that way.
That's got to be. It's gonna be a terrifying sound in the shower with the acoustics. Just feel like it's fucking coming from all around you.
I'm the type of guy that just walks into the shower. She's washing herself. She's like, "What are you doing in here?" I'm like, "Don't worry about it for a second."
For a second. Problem is, we have little kids and they have no boundaries. So
Oh yeah.
If I walked into the shower, it might be there could be a lot of people showing up, and it's
Shower party.
Think about this, Sam. 100 years ago, maybe, and I mean even, let's say 100 years. No, more than 100 years ago, because we can't use that reference anymore because it's no longer the 1990s.
Correct.
So 150 years ago, some of these 6, 7, 8-person families only had one bedroom.
Yep.
And their families kept growing.
Yep.
So what do you think was happening?
Oh no!
Like the 16-year-old kid's like, "Dad, not again." He's like, go out and shovel cow crap, son."
Yep. Go do some works.
How 150 years ago did everybody sound like Keanu Reeves?
I wouldn't have gone Keanu on that, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I'm for it. That was Dad, like, bro. So, I mean, he didn't. He implied it was a farm. He didn't let you know that it was a pot farm.
Yeah.
So
That's they were farming.
Everybody on the farm sounded like that.
They were farming cannabis.
Dad's like, go pull some weeds, boy.
Go clean all the balls.
Clean your balls.
While I light this for the third time, why don't we tell the kids at home what we're smoking?
Why don't we?
Yeah.
Because we were talking about other shit.
I mean, that's a fair reason. He got your number today.
It's time for the Cigar of the Week, brought to you by Just a Tip Cigars. Are you looking for the best selection of boutique cigars? Do you want the tried and true legacy brands that are synonymous with the cigar lifestyle? Do you want luxurious cutters, lighters, and other accessories? Do you want to relax in the most comfortable cigar lounge in the burg? Then you want Just a Tip Cigars. Conveniently located in the Bavarian Village Shopping Center in South Park, Pennsylvania, Just a Tip Cigars has been tailor-built to your smoking needs. Whether you visit in person or on the web at justatipcigars.com, when it comes to cigars, Just a Tip is the whole package. So that's a nice little blend there. It's still hearing the harmonica from your fucking music over there. And I was like, maybe we should put a harmonica in that.
Kind of lined up nice, like.
It's not bad, really.
Yeah, I digs it.
Yeah, so today we are smoking the Buffalo 10 Maduro. This was a thematic pick. It was supposed to be because the Stillers were supposed to be playing the Buffalo in Buffalo, but Buffalo came here and the game moved to Monday or something, yeah?
Yeah. So they, did you see the videos of like what it looks like up there right now?
That was like going to be the only game I was going to watch in
50
like the
mile
last
an
10
hour
years. I'm like,
constant winds, like
Fuck
the
yeah.
whiteouts we've been seeing. That's what they had all day yesterday, and
That
it's
would've been
supposed
cool.
to be worse today. I just want to see him kick a field goal.
I wanted to see him fucking do a kickoff that ended up being a field goal. Fucking wind assisted, you know?
Get after it. What up, Mikey Kizora?
So we're smoking the Buffalo 10 Maduro. This is the 6x50 Toro. It is a San Andreas wrapper, Dominican binder and filler from Nicaragua. Created in 2018 and produced at El Artista in Tamboril, Dominican Republic. It is a byproduct of Radames. That's why they call him Ram. His name is Ram. Ram Rodriguez, who is on the rise in the boutique cigar space, is also a natural and Connecticut version of this line. We chose the Maduro for today. The reason that I wanted to disclose what it was is because I wanted to say outright, this is a budget stick. It's a pretty good budget stick.
Yeah.
But when you're seeing me light this a bunch of times, that's why.
Yeah, it's a damn good cigar. What up, Scotty Robinson, Mickey Peg? How you guys doing?
What's budget?
The Mick.
One paper Lincoln.
Really?
One paper Lincoln.
Or 500 copper Lincolns.
570 copper Lincolns to be like more exact.
Tax.
Yeah. Well, pre-tax.
No shit.
Yeah.
So a little loose draw.
See, mine's spot on.
Is
but
it?
Mine's pretty good.
Okay, so most of mine I get, and I've smoked at least a handful of these.
Oh yeah.
But I'll tell you, more often than not, I've felt a little underfilled. I mean,
Yeah.
it is a press, and it is a value cigar. So like, I could use just a little bit more press, a little bit more draw resistance, and I think that's why I'm having to relight.
Yeah.
But it is a very tasty cigar.
Yeah, the
for the
blend
money.
is good.
Yeah, I've got my ash is fine.
Yeah.
I'd like to try the Buffalo
Burn
20.
on it's great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I do. 2 paper Lincolns and a Washington for the Buffalo 20. I want to know what the non-budget version
The
of this tastes
non-budget.
like. Because that's still not a bad price,
No.
right?
Yeah.
Like you're talking about probably in the average or below, depending on how you do the math.
Yeah,
Twice what this costs.
There's so many cigars that are just gone up through the roof. It's nice, a lot, and that's especially why I like a lot of the smaller boutiques is they've been able to maintain their prices a little bit better. Even though you would think it'd be backwards because a lot less control. A lot of the boutiques have been more consistent with holding their prices. They're just taking the hit. Honestly, I think is what's going on. They just take the hit for it a little bit, keep their prices consistent, just help grow the brand, but. There's some amazing $11 sticks out there that are just phenomenal.
If you look at a cigar like this, I'm assuming, and I don't know because I don't know how much quantity they produce of this, but I'm assuming that in a lot of cases of budget stuff, they're able to keep prices low because it's like leftovers from something else that they're using the tobacco for, right? Like they might be taking fillers from something else or whatever. So if that's the case, if they bump up the other product, they might not have to do the budget one. And I think probably if you got a guy that's paying 12 and the price goes up to 13 or 13.50, is probably more likely to keep buying that versus somebody that's buying one at 5 and it goes up to 6.50.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they're really trying to hone in on something affordable.
Yeah.
So it's a solid choice to try to keep a budget stick at a reasonable price. I'd say.
Yeah, and not even like the budget stuff. There's so many there's a couple like breaking points in the price, and it's just been fun to learn what those are because like what I thought they were is not 100% correct. Like I was thinking the sub 5, and then the 8 to 12.
Sub 5 before 2020 maybe.
Yeah, and that's it. So like the sub 5, unfortunately, there's still a lot of guys that are looking for the $2-3. One that's this quality, and I'm like, guys, it's just not there. It just does. Yeah, like, I mean, I've got some in that price range, but like, oh, that's not very good. Well, I don't mean to be rude, but I know that's.
If I'm not mistaken, and I could be, Seneca might be able to back me up on whether I'm right or wrong. I think Backwoods actually is the biggest buyer of Connecticut broadleaf. Period.
Oh, right. It sounds about right.
Like, it's not. They don't get the good stuff, but they get the quantity.
The bulk of the matter.
It's the crap on the inside that's poo.
The problem is
Backwoods are awesome. Don't judge.
We don't get the good stuff because they're taking it before it ages.
Right. Absolutely. Well, that and the other problem is that the Connecticut River Valley, unfortunately, that real estate is worth more to housing developments and nearly anything else than it is to tobacco, especially with labor costs in the U.S.
That's what makes the Red Meat Lovers so good. That's what it's like Red Meat Lovers is all U.S. grown Connecticut broadleaf, which is nice. You get that Puro in there. So it's all
I think
U.S.
we need to
grown
start
and
a
shipped
movement.
down.
Screw the rainforest. Let's save the Connecticut River Valley. You know what I mean?
I'm for them.
Yeah.
Oh, it depends though. You like the spicy stuff? Save Lancaster.
I feel like when Jason's quiet, we're talking too much about cigars.
No.
I feel like he's being quiet because we're talking about cigars. He's not going, guys, do something.
Is that what he does? Who does that?
When he holds up like things like
Oh,
bump
yeah.
and whatnot. Like
That's fair.
I mean, it is kind of like the whole producer thing. Just
Yeah.
kinda slides into that. But
Speaking of the bump,
No.
yeah, do the bump while I get coffee.
I was going to do the bump later. I try to move it around. I'll do it now to cover your
You know what?
coffee
I say
grab.
just do it twice.
Yeah.
3.
Now, well, I was thinking about doing it in the beginning. What I'd kind of like to start doing if I may pitch this, I'll pitch it to the group before you walk around the corner. Is when
I'm
we
good.
start the show, I'd like to do What's Up Junkies. I'm Corey, I'm Sam, it's Jason, and we're the Cigar Junkies. And you are too. And if you're watching, it goes straight into the bump.
Yeah, that's normally how everyone else does it.
That's why, but it is my idea because I stole it. And no,
That's fine.
it's support or don't.
That's
man.
where
Like,
that's
you know
where
what
I
mean?
prefer it.
You ain't gotta shame me. You know why I avoided doing it for a long time? I think is just because so much of the beginning of the show is already standardized that I wanna put that in there when I feel like people aren't skipping ahead.
You want to put
the
it in
show.
there after everybody's gone.
So they're just listening to the intro and leaving.
That if you look at the numbers, it's
Yeah.
huge numbers in the beginning, and then by the middle of the show, nobody's listening.
You're talking about on Facebook, but I'm
Facebook,
talking about
Spotify
everywhere
as
else.
well, all that stuff. People don't stay for the whole show.
Fair enough.
I mean,
Ah.
how we can figure out how to get people to stay for the entire show
Well,
is another conversation
well,
entirely.
why don't we just?
But you have to put the bump where the most people are, where it's going to reach the most people, and where it's going to be effective.
I like that. That could be your catchphrase. You got to put the bump where the people are.
Right.
It's
Got to put
it's
the bump
very-
where the people are.
I like it. No, well, why don't we just do this? Why don't we do open the show and just say, "What's up, junkies? Please listen to the whole show."
Because no, people aren't going to do that. They're going to listen, and when they're like, this has gone on for too long, they're going to turn it off.
Well, then they're not gonna fucking be like, "Hey, you should listen to this shit." I turn off 30 seconds.
What
in.
does Scotty Robinson say? Indeed and LOL to.
I don't know.
We need context, brother.
Context is helpful. Scotty in the chat room, let us know what the hell's going on. If you're listening to this, you are the Cigar Junkies, and the show is still going because of your incredible support. We invite you to help us grow our community by liking, sharing, and subscribing on every platform. You know who did that? Jeff Pohl.
Jeff Pohl did that?
Yeah.
I wonder if Troy Harper did that.
Oh, I'm sure Troy Harper did it for
Troy
sure.
Harper's creating bot accounts to do it for us.
And I support that. Numbers are numbers. You know what I mean? Donuts are not necessary, but they're appreciated, as is smoked meats.
Hold on. Donuts are necessary.
Well,
As well
now
as
for him,
appreciated.
because he
Yeah, like you set that expectation.
Yes.
Now it's a thing.
absolutely.
Like I want my apple fritters. You want your peanut butter and jelly to almost
No, I
kill
don't
you.
want the peanut butter.
By
and
the way,
jelly.
I ate that one this morning because I was like, all right, I gotta see. Holy shit, is it really good?
It is really good.
It's
The
really good.
problem is I just didn't know.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
Well, I won't lie. I thought it was maple when I grabbed it,
Uh,
and I was like, oh, maple, and I was like, no, wait, that's peanut butter. You know what? I'm gonna go for it because I'm not a big peanut butter guy.
Oh, I love peanut butter,
Oh, I figured you did.
but
Who wants to skip you?
I've never had it in my lungs before that.
Oh, that's right.
And
I
that was
forgot
the
why.
problem.
Yeah.
You cannot evacuate peanut butter from your lungs, man.
I imagine it'd be pretty
that
difficult.
shit is in there for a while. It was a rough day.
You yawn like 3 days later, and you're like, "Why does my breath smell like peanut butter?"
Kind of upset and kind of excited.
Here I go again on my own. No, like great flavor, great taste of soda, but yeah, it was a little bit of like a.
I'm wondering if these would be
A
good dry
traumatic
box
experience.
a little bit.
I imagine so.
Like
Give it a little shrinkage,
Yeah, just I think it would tighten them up a little bit,
like
and I
a
think
frightened turtle.
they'd burn better. Because I mean, there's one other cigar in there that doesn't like to
Yep.
doesn't like to stay lit at 69%. Like it likes
Does it
to be.
have a paper?
Yeah.
Tissue
Yeah.
paper on it.
Yeah, we've talked about it.
Yeah.
I mean, before, and I tell people when they come in and buy it, I'm like, dude, this is a great cigar. You just got to wait to smoke it till tomorrow. Like it just
mean,
needs to dry out a little
Sit
bit.
it out on the counter.
Yeah.
If that's the barrier to entry, that's not bad because millions of people buy the fucking Opus X and you can't smoke them fuckers for 2 years.
Right. Yeah, I've had some of the Opus though that some of them are really good, and
tell
I
you
hate
what,
to say that. Like some of them are really good.
If you have like friends that are patient enough to age them and then nice enough to give you one, they're fucking incredible.
Yeah.
But I can't. It's really hard to humidify an empty humidor. I've got a collection of them. None of them have any cigars in them.
Yeah.
You know what? I actually got so desperate waiting on the fucking Dino order. I had two. It was like a happy surprise because I thought I was out. I had two of the Kalanox
Oh yeah.
still in their little kilts in my drawer. I smoked them the last 2 days. They're
Right.
good.
Num num num.
They were. They actually performed really well, but they were less peaty.
Yeah, being dried out like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't let it pop to the top at all. Didn't let the peat come out, like peat flavor come out of it. That's what I mean. Didn't get too.
How do you get the peat flavor out? You stick a finger in his bum? No, nothing. Okay.
I'm not going there. I just
no.
It's
a little early.
It
you
is.
Push the button, but
it is always early.
Dude, I could use. We need something for that window. Who parked there?
That would
What
be
is that?
Eric. It's either Eric or Seneca. I can't tell which is
that
which.
sun is coming straight off of that hood like a laser beam.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Like fucking Cyclops out in the fucking parking lot.
Hence the chair. And it helped for a while, but it has adapted since then.
Fuck me, dude. No smoke.
Just not wanting to go.
Nah, man. Where'd your letter go? You better leave it in between us.
Oh, I need it.
Again, love the flavor of this cigar. I actually pitched you to carry this cigar before you were even open. When you were looking for ideas of stuff to carry, because it's a good cigar in a budget. I actually need to try going outside of the Maduro too.
Yeah, it's the Natural's the one that's by far moving the best here.
See, when you don't say anything and you just sit here and smoke the cigar, it's fucking great.
Works great.
That is a fair point. Like, obviously on the show we're talking, but still, I mean, if it wasn't a value cigar, it'd be a disappointing performance. At a value, though, you understand. But if you have a good cigar lit and you can't leave that thing sit for 5 minutes and still be able to take a draw off of it, you're in trouble.
Yeah. No, I mean, a couple minutes here and there, no big deal. But I've had sometimes. I mean, what cigar did I have the other day that I walked? It was probably 8-10 minutes. Like I went back, did dishes, talked to people, all that. Came over, grabbed it, puffed on it. And the guy's like, "How long? That's been sitting there the whole time." I'm like, "Yeah, dude. Like it was just one of those cigars. It was real dense. It was it was the original Sobra Mesa."
Okay. I've had some of those where I've gone into like the grocery store and come out and you just tried it. Like I put it in my mouth expecting to have to light it and draw it, and it was still smoking. And that's a record or something.
Yeah, some of them, man, they'll just hold up. Others, not so much. But I don't judge the cigar on that unless it's like a problem amount. Like this is a little bit tough, but again, honestly, for this price point, most people are going to be chiefing on it. They're going to be going at it pretty hard, so they're not having a problem. Like
this, if you are a person that like wants a dog walker or something like that, like whenever you do walk the dog because it's not too fucking freezing ass cold. It's only like 20 degrees. It's not bad, but it's like the wind chill is pretty rough right now. It's pretty windy out there, but this is great for that, particularly because you can't. The more you puffed on it, the better you're gonna get.
Yeah, the better it's gonna.
You're gonna look at this Toro. You're only gonna get maybe 35, 45 minutes out of this Toro if you're hitting it like that, but it's gonna perform well while you do.
How's it compared to you how is it for you compared to like factory smoke?
Way better.
Yeah.
I've only had like one or two of those in my more desperate days. And like when I say desperate, I don't mean price wise. I mean like being down in West Virginia and
that's what you can get.
Working in the oil field and just going like to wherever I could find a cigar store. And that be an option. You know what I mean?
No, I really enjoy them.
It's definitely better than what it's showing you right now.
Yeah, that's the factory smokes. They're amazing at their price point. I mean, they're ridiculously good because out of 25, you're going to get like 2 or 3 that don't do well at all.
They're probably rough draws, not a loose draw, probably a tight one.
All over the place. That's what you're paying $2 for. Like it's all over the place.
And it's probably a mixed fill or short fill.
I think they're all long fill. Seneca.
There's no way in hell.
Seneca. No. Factory smokes. They're all long fill, aren't they?
No.
Yeah, there ain't
They're
no
Cuban
way.
sandwich?
Yeah.
That's so like if you're unfamiliar with the difference between short fill, long fill, Cuban sandwich. So a long fill is whole leaf tobacco. So you're tearing the leaf into the size that you need to make your bundle for the filler of the cigar. A lot of companies will use scraps to make a short fill or a mix fill, and those are not necessarily bad cigars. They're actually often very good cigars because they can use the trimmings from high quality tobacco that they were gonna just throw away and put it in a cigar. The difference is, Jason, if you've experienced how we describe it, like a complex cigar that changes as you smoke it. A lot of people like a cigar for that reason, like having the flavor experience change while you smoke it. You won't get that on a short fill or most mixed fills because the ingredients are so mixed together the whole way through that you don't get that, like, oh, okay, it's going to be heavy in the front or heavy in the back or whatever. You don't get those changes. So that's the primary difference. While Sam's off this time, you want to hit the news? It's time for the cigar news, brought to you by Tom's Penworks. As a cigar smoker, you appreciate luxury. And as a premium cigar smoker, you appreciate handmade craftsmanship. And as a customer of Tom's Penworks, you'll appreciate the selection of custom-made, limited production items that you can show off to your friends. From handmade pens, pencils, bottle openers, cigar cases, and now custom rings, Tom will create something special for you or your loved one. Find him on the web at etsy.com/shop/Tom's Penworks. And as always, you can find the link in the description for this episode. And Tom's pens do work. They do. I'm a big fan of Tom's pens. I like my new screw-on cap because I get less ink in my pocket that way. Cigar Coop has picked a cigar of the year. Number one for 2023 was the My Father La Beju 1922, to which I says, bullshit, that was like cigar of the year like 10 years ago. For
it's still a fantastic
cigar aficionado. However, that is a good cigar. This is the 1922 100
Años. Yeah, 100 year.
I'm like anus. Años limited edition Corona Extra. In 2008, Jaime Garcia created the first My Father cigar to honor his father, Don Jose Pepin Garcia. A year later, Pepin paid homage to his own father, Jose Garcia Leon, releasing a cigar known as My Father La Beju 1922. It's French for the jewel, and he called it the 1922 because that was the year that Pepin's father was born. The wrapper is a Nicaraguan Habano Oscuro that has been dubbed the Garcia's Oscuro, or Habano My Father. Habano My Father, okay. The rich brown colored wrapper is what makes the cigar stand out. The Garcia said that a special fermentation process contributes to the flavors and aromas of this cigar. It is a 5.5 by 48 Corona Extra and has a slight box press to it. The boxes of the 100 Años released contain 22 cigars, the number paying homage to the birth year of Jose that we already said before. And the cigar comes out of the My Father Cigars factory in Esteli, Nicaragua. So the original Beju, very, very good cigar. I've smoked plenty of them. I haven't had one in a while, but I would imagine this is on a different level, probably.
Yeah, I mean, I would be surprised if it's, oh my God, better, because the original's so good. But
sure.
No, I definitely am intrigued by it and want to try it.
So my biggest, my reason for saying that is to secure another Cigar of the Year award, obviously from a different place this time. For somebody like Cigar Coop that isn't based on advertising and shit like that, like Aficionado is, I would expect there have to be a standout to it to make him pick it.
Something that makes it actually special.
Right.
Yeah.
And I would be very interested to take a stab at that one myself.
Oh, yeah, no, that and the Judge are both very unique Maduros. Like, they both have completely different qualities too. Like, they're not comparable cigars at all to each other. But definitely two of them you need to revisit if you haven't done it in a while. Like, anybody who hasn't had them, who likes Maduros, they're just yummy.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
General Cigar Company has announced the CAO Amazon Basin is back for 2024. I know this one's very popular on the social mediums. As a limited edition cigar that was first released in 2014, the cigar has been one of the most popular limited edition cigars released under the CAO brand. Amazon Basin blend incorporates a rare low yield of tobacco called Brazilian Braganca? Probably Braganca. Reminds me of Blanco from fucking Street Fighter.
Yeah.
That was my boy, that fucking little ginger green guy with the electricity. I appreciated that guy.
Bragancia.
See ya.
Bragancia.
There's
There's
no
no
I.
I.
Look at the little thing on the tail under the sea.
I thought that was just
Oh,
ash.
there is. I thought it was a bad. I thought it was a bad.
Bragancia. Let's see. Back when we originally reported, we're not going to refer to an article that we didn't cover before. The filler of the CAO Amazon basin contains Colombian and Dominican tobacco. The cigar also incorporates an Ecuadorian Sumatra wrapper and Nicaraguan binder. Like previous installments, the CAO Amazon basin is available in one size 6x52 Toro, and a total of 6,018 count boxes have been produced.
Yeah.
I actually would have to say, of all of the boutique companies that have been purchased by a giant and continue to live on, CAO is probably the one that I think continues to have the best cigar quality and ideas and performance.
They still treat it like they innovate there. They actually do new things there. They try things there.
Dad bod, the flathead. There's a lot of really good cigars still in that line. There's some too that I'm like, it's not for me, but
yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, they're all going to have cigars that we're not fans of, but CAO, most of what they make is something I'm happy to smoke. You know, and like that, like I think that's the difference between another one of the big companies, like big holding companies, like General is doing stuff to keep up and do new things, where other companies are just sitting back and riding on what they purchased, and you can see it in their prices and you can see it on the demand. Like those other ones, nobody's buying the other ones because they're the same cigar that their grandfather and their great grandfather smoked. And that's the only reason that I sell like those cigars is because people come in like, oh, that's what my grandfather smoked. Let me get one. Cool. But that's getting fewer and far between, where, you know, they're like, okay, that's great. We have some things that your grandfather smoked. We got your punches and whatnot. But we've also, you know, check out the flathead. Look how cool this is.
Yes.
Hey, look at the MX2. You know, it's a Maduro ×2. You know, it's they're actually doing different things.
Fuck that shit. Triple Maduro or nothing, right, Jason?
Triple Maduro.
No.
No. We just had this conversation.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they just aren't what they were.
No, they aren't. Nothing is. I tell you what, when you had them, they weren't what they were. Because the ones that I had, when I first got turned on to that brand, it was already a dead brand. Because I got basically a full box of them out of Sam Lucia's fucking humidor.
Stash, yeah.
So they were years old before Camacho sold to Davidoff. And I tell you what, those motherfuckers, you try smoking one of them things fast, they turn you green. I almost threw up on a fucking pad once trying to get one smoked in an hour.
Jesus.
Jeez, yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot.
If you've never had a cigar that has made you feel like you had an elephant sitting on your chest, you aren't a cigar smoker yet.
Oh.
Those things would fuck you up.
Yeah. So the one I had those years ago, we're looking at 7 years ago now. At least. So the one I had those years ago was an experience in and of itself. Now, granted, you said it's not the same as they were before.
Mm-hmm.
And since I've been hanging out here with you guys, I've had, I think, 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah.
I had the Triple Maduro, had it one time, couldn't keep it lit. Then I had the Nicaragua.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed the Nicaragua.
That's one of their best ones.
Then I went back to it, couldn't keep that one lit. Then I tried a Triple Maduro again, couldn't keep it lit. And it was like 4 or 5. I've done the one time out of, I think, like the last 6 or 7 times I've smoked a Camacho, I've enjoyed it. And that was the one time I had that Nicaragua.
Yeah.
So when it comes to keeping it lit, there's something to keep in mind there. Maduro has to be thicker tobacco. A thin tobacco cannot withhold the extra fermentation process. So by nature, anything Maduro is going to be thicker. It's going to be higher primings. So if you're running into issues where you can't keep them lit, it might not necessarily mean that cigar isn't what you want it to be. It just might need a day of dry boxing, because with that thick tobacco, if it's got 70% or close to humidification, you're probably going to struggle a little bit. But there's also other factors there. For anybody that's ever smoked a cigar and been like, it's not what it used to be or it changed, Well, there's a good chance that's true because even if they keep the blend exactly the same, the crop is different every year.
Right.
You have different amount of sunlight, different amount of rainfall. It's really hard to be a Padron keeping your cigar tasting the same for years and years and years. But Padron doesn't have a shit ton of lines of cigars, right? They have a very limited number of cigars they do, and their effort is to continue making that a consistent blend. But there are companies that will buy a cigar just for the name, for the band, and just immediately change what that cigar is.
Yeah.
And people will buy it because of what the name is, because, oh, this is what I've always smoked, or this is what my dad smoked, or whatever. They know that name and they think that's a good cigar because everybody knows it is. So there's a lot of things that go into it. And then the third thing that I wanted to mention was 8 years ago when you had that cigar for the first time, that was your first real introduction to premium cigars on like a semi-regular basis.
Sure.
And you have experienced a lot of other stuff too, right? So if like you go to a third world country and give a guy a fucking McDonald's hamburger, it might be the best thing he ever fucking had in his life. But once he's had fucking, 100 other hamburgers, he's going to be like, maybe that one's not as good as I thought it was initially. You're rounding out your experience and your palate's changing, all of that stuff. So, shit, we're still in the news, aren't we?
Yeah.
I'm
I was enjoying the conversation.
Growing into a little. I'm changing from a caterpillar to a butterfly.
And say a moth.
Oh, he got the pulpetta the other day.
Yeah.
You didn't? Have you done that yet?
I don't think I have.
Oh, bud.
You know what? Speaking of moths, a moth is an absolute lesson in pretty privilege.
Because you see a butterfly, you don't smash it.
Yeah, you don't smash a butterfly, but you fucking smash a moth.
All right. I don't know how those things live. They're sexually attracted to fire. They fucking drown in puddles. They have no control over their own flight pattern. I think I'm probably.
I mean that is one thing with a moth over
reference.
a butterfly, though, because I mean, since the rails are over there now, anyways. A moth will just like chill there while you walk up to it and smash it. Where a butterfly's like, oh shit, danger, danger.
And it flits away very beautifully.
It's like, I can get away very slowly.
Now, what were you going to say before?
I have no fucking idea.
You know what we need? We need somebody out there that's like an animator to just like make some of them really terrible, like looks like your kid drew it pictures, but animate them just to like.
Why don't we just get our kids to draw it?
That'd be good.
But like collectively, we have enough children amongst us.
That's a lot of drawing, though. Like to
not
fully
really. Like,
animate.
no, you just have them draw the original, and then you just digitize it, give it to somebody like Paul over there, and I'm sure he can turn it into a pretty video.
That'd be fun.
And it doesn't have to it's not got to be like a Saturday morning cartoon. It's only got to be in a position for a few seconds.
Yeah, we want it to look like crap. That's the point.
I just want to see the fucking stick figure walk up to the moth and look at it and go,
yeah,
and step on it, and then fucking walk up to the butterfly. The butterfly go, oh shit, and fucking fly away. It amuses me.
Morning, mother. Sorry.
Just in time.
Just in time.
Tatuaje has announced it will release the Kappa special versions of the Tatuaje 10th anniversary Belle Ancre, on something, Bon Chazar. Kappa Especial is the name given to the Tatuaje release as it feature an Ecuadorian Sumatra wrapper. The new Belle Ancre and the Bon Chazar Kappa Especial will be limited releases, and they were both introduced as regular production cigars for the 10th anniversary. Those cigars are highlighted by a Habano Ecuador line. Last year, Tat featured a Tuxtla. I'm going with it. Tuxtla versions of both cigars featuring Mexican San Andreas wrapper. Tatuaje says the reason for doing this is to show how much a cigar can change when a different wrapper is used. Yeah, we know. The company said the concept helps educate the consumer's palate and help them understand why they like different tobaccos. A total of 3,000 20-count boxes of each size has been produced. And there is a Perfecto and a 5 3/8 by 52. So,
if that was a French word, it would be Tula.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, we can go with that.
Like Mario Lemieux.
Yeah.
Lemieux.
Yeah.
Or Bordeaux. It's spelled Bordeaux.
Here's the thing, man. On the fly, I'm never going to get those pronunciations. I still do better than most. Like, fucking, if you ever watch Dave Garofalo, The Cigar Authority, like, he's better at everything than me except for reading Spanish words. It's pretty good. If you just want to hear somebody mispronounce some shit, it's a good time. But obviously, I have nothing but respect for that guy. So I'm curious to see if he's going to put the. Are you making your fucking microphone smoke?
It's going forever. I don't know why it is still doing this.
He blew this smoke directly into the microphone, and then the microphone continued to smoke for like 30 seconds afterwards, and he's just completely mesmerized by it.
I was like, what's going on? What? That makes sense though. That would be mesmeric. Is that a word? I like that word. I feel like we should make it.
It sounds like a fucking.
It is now.
It sounds like the name for a particular size of a particular cigar that I would mispronounce when reading it.
Yes.
Just the tip, mesmeric.
The mesmeric.
The mesmeric.
It's like
That's
it's
what
like
I'd
when
call
you
it.
say, "Oh, that's a made up word." All words.
All
are
words.
made up.
All made.
That's like the best Thor line everywhere. Fuck, what is that? Ragnarok?
Probably. That sounds like a.
Or no,
Taiwan
I think
TT.
it was. I think it was Infinity War.
When he was talking.
like-
Yeah.
You made that up. It's like all words,
All words
are made up. Yeah.
We were talking about that something like that yesterday. Somebody said something. He called the Mas Igneous cigar something. I was like, all right, I got it. And he's like, I don't know why I can't get that name right. And I was like, bud, the purpose of a word is to convey an idea. I got the point. You said it right. Like why do people get so upset about this? You said my name wrong. Yeah, but you fucking knew it was you. Like, did you know I was talking to you? Yeah, then I got it right. Like, when you break this down to the core purpose of me saying it was to get your attention. Got it.
Troy Harper says that the Tabernacle Double Corona is a cigar that messed him up pretty good. So
Tabernacles can get a little.
they can get a little
Oomphy.
spicy.
Yeah.
That was essentially like Steve's kind of answer to the masses that wanted something Liga-esque. Or no, I'm sorry, Jesus, not Steve. Nick.
I was like, wait a
Nick.
minute, wrong company.
Steve's was the Micarita, and Nick's was the because he came out with the Sober Mesa.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, what? We thought it was going to be Liga Privada.
Yeah.
And then he came out with Micarita, which is a lot more on brand. And then Nick Melillo of Foundation Cigars did the Tabernacle. Tabernacle, a cigar I've smoked boxes of.
Yeah.
For a while before I got super heavy into Aladino, Tabernacle was definitely a go-to for me. It's actually something I need to go back to once in a while.
I really like both. I do find myself getting away from peppery, like more and more away from peppery. So I'm tending towards like the Micarita style now.
Yeah.
But I mean, both are just phenomenal cigars. But the peppery stuff, I've lost my urge to deal with that. But like Pennsylvania broadleaf has that really cool spicy sweetness to it that I can't get away from.
Troy states that he does love that cigar though, and that is like a distinction to make. Like there, you can have a bad experience with a full bodied cigar, but if you're prepared for it properly, you go in with a full stomach and like smoke it at the right time of day, you're probably gonna have a way better experience. Like that, I like a strong cigar in the morning. Like unlike most people like to start their day light if they're gonna smoke something early. I want something that's gonna like be my morning coffee and punch me in the face and wake me up.
Yeah, I had a guy come over to the counter the other day. I had a decent line, so I didn't get in the humidor with him. He comes out and he's got like, I think he had Sober Mesa Brulee, Rosa Sharon, Monte Cristo White, and then he lays a Veritas 412 down. And I was like, hey, do you know like about this cigar at all? Because like I'm a little concerned right now. You just brought me like 3 real easy light Connecticut's, and then a PA broadleaf ass kicker. So it was one of those. I was like, hey, and he's like, oh yeah, I've had it. I'm like, okay, just like, I don't want to be that guy and be like, yeah, try this, and him be like, oh my god, what am I smoking? Yeah, it's not the same, bud.
I want to know how Dave liked the Amarillo if he smoked it.
Oh, the fancy Bellicosa.
Which Dave?
Yeah,
The guy who beat me in chess.
yeah, he loved the flavor of it.
That doesn't help me.
We had the chess tournament on Tuesday.
Is this a Dave I know? There's so many Daves.
Woodworking Dave.
Okay. Not BGD.
No, I don't think you met him. I'm not sure.
Did you mute?
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to.
Yeah,
listen
I don't
to
think
this
you guys have
episode
met.
to see if I can-
Because like he doesn't know. Whole different conversation. But no, that was a lot of fun. And
I loved it. He's a good chess player.
Yeah, he
really
is.
good chess player.
Well, so I lost to him in that first round,
Mhm.
and then I crushed him that next round, and then he was back in the other day, and we played that 2 minute,
Mhm.
and I decimated him again. And I'm like, really? Like the one that mattered, I lost, and I'm just like, powerhoused him a couple games in a row.
I'm glad you guys are enjoying the timer.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun. Thank you for that.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, you're funny. You're not allowed to watch chess matches anymore because I just see you like pacing and it's like, dude, I see it. I get it. I know he doesn't see it. Just let it go. I play with this guy every day.
It wasn't you I was frustrated with.
Oh, I know.
It was him I was frustrated with.
That's what he said.
I keep
That's what he
punishing him.
just said.
Oh my God.
I keep punishing him because I'm like, dude, like,
That's how you get
eventually
him
you're gonna learn.
Yeah.
Like I keep just running down the aisle at him. And I leave. He sets up checkmates and has no idea he does it all the time. And like I'll just avoid it, and I'll keep him like within one move of like me being able to fix it most of the time. I did miss the pawn, the next step on the pawn down, but like
I do
punish
kind
him
of
all the
the
time.
same thing, but the opposite way to Jason. Like when we were obviously, I've not played chess in a real long time, but when we were playing in North Dakota, I'm very much an amateur, but I took reasonably well to it. But because of the fact that I play just off the wall, whatever, threw him through a loop, and I couldn't finish. I couldn't see the finish.
Yeah.
And so, like, I remember one time we were in a restaurant, like,
chasing each other
driving
around
up
the
to
board.
North Dakota, and we finished a real long game. He's like, "Finally, you could have checkmated me 22 moves ago."
I was so mad. But I don't like the forfeit.
Yeah. Oh, I noticed.
Yeah, well, here's what I would do. I wasn't good at finding a way to mate somebody or seeing it. And so what I would do, come on, man.
Oh, I
Try and
clipped
talk
that
chess
one.
here.
I
That's
clipped
too,
that
that's too low hanging, bud. That's low for us.
I'll give it to you. It's fair.
So continue, please.
But the point was like, so what I do, since I couldn't finish,
We got it part time.
is that I just take all your pieces. Like I would make it that was usually my objective, was like, well, I know the less pieces he has, the less damage he could do, and the more likely I am to win. So like I would have to checkmate him, and he'd have no other pieces on the board but the fucking king. That's the way that I play, and not just you. Like that's the way I play chess.
And unfortunately, who was the scruffy looking dude who was drinking the VO last night?
Scruffy looking nerd
Alex,
herder.
yeah.
Alex. So Alex was hanging out here, right? And
I don't need
even Eric was like, "Oh, you guys are good."
No.
And I said to him, I was like, "No, we're not. Like,
Yeah.
if you take our ranking, we are just crested over the beginner line into intermediate."
Yep. Yeah. Like
Go to
if-
Leaf and Bean and McMurray.
Oh yeah.
There are master level chess players.
Oh,
over
yeah.
there, dude.
Well, I don't know that they go in there anymore because they're not open early in the mornings anymore.
That wouldn't matter because the guys that were the good chess players were afternoon guys. Actually, ironically, another Dave, we call him Tattoo Dave. He owned I owned some company that painting company or something. But this dude didn't he would go check on his guys and then just go sit at Leaf and Bean all
Yeah.
day. And my understanding is what they did a lot of was chess, and the other thing is they played a lot of gin.
Yeah.
Okay.
For like $20 a hand gin.
Mhm.
And I have it on good authority that guy makes enough money there playing gin every fucking month to pay his bills. Like he needed it. Like the guy's got money anyhow, but
Yeah.
he can go in there, sit all day, smoke cigars, and fucking play cards, and just doing that pays his bills. But
That's
there's this
funny.
other dude, Bobby.
Damn it, Bobby.
Damn it,
Not
Bobby.
like Bobby Fischer, fucking chess player. These two guys would go at it, and it would just be otherworldly. This guy though, fucking, he'd be ready to leave. He was a Comcast fucking guy, and he'd be just. I cannot puff on a cigar as fast as he would, and he'd be down here and take fucking 150 hits off of that cigar in a minute. I'm like, how are your fucking fingertips not burning off?
It's
How are
your
you not on
fingertips,
fire?
your mouth, and
Oh, actually, I think that's the only possible way I could smoke this cigar successfully at this point.
Now that I've gotten like an ash
I
build
gotta
up on mine, I haven't had any problems with it.
I've not relit it. It's not run on me in any direction.
Yeah.
And what's funny is Usually, when the three of us, sit down and smoke a cigar, I usually get the crappy one.
It has tended to be that way, huh?
Yeah, I usually get the one that won't stay lit. It's burning in a bad direction or something like that. I don't know what that was either.
I don't either. I caught it out of the corner of my eye, and then we kept doing this awkward, like, wait, do you need something? No. Do you need something? Do you need something? No. It was fun though. I appreciate that about you, Jeff Poole.
Is that what you appreciate about him?
Easy there, squirrely Jason.
He's hot. He's hot. I said it. I regret nothing.
I regret nothing. I can't run anymore.
I'm fat. I can't run anymore.
Oh, I love that show. It makes me so happy in my heart.
What did you think about Shoresy?
I love it, but for a different reason.
Okay.
It's it's still really good comedy. They didn't try and duplicate and just make another Letterkenny, which made me happy. I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, Letterkenny's better." I'm like, "Yeah, it's not the same show." Like he's trying to actually have a storyline in this one, not just quip, 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 quip.
You were playing hockey with your buddies the other day. I didn't know that it was the same actor. Now it makes sense to me why they never have him on fucking camera.
Yeah.
In Letterkenny, it's because it's just the same dude doing the voice. Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't know.
Well,
I mean, first of all, I have not watched.
I almost called him Jared Leto.
I've not even watched all the Letterkenny. I watched I burned through a few seasons and then just kind of stopped.
Well, that was the first thing that caught me off guard. I was like, okay, they're not showing the guy's face. And then after I heard his voice, I was like,
wait a minute.
That sounds an awful lot like Wayne.
Yeah. Yeah, no, spot on. No, just good show. It's mindless. It's great. But like Shoresy has a little bit more going on. It's not as mindless, which is nice.
What was good about Letterkenny is that I was working at a plant that
the button pushing
refurbished. Yeah, the button pushing plant. And
that's when I found him last year.
I would not watch it, but I would stick my earbuds in and put the phone up on my little station.
Yeah, you could just listen to it.
And I would go work and listen to it because someone is always talking.
I did that a lot while I was working here.
See, that wouldn't have helped me in the first season because I did the same thing. I was watching like downtime or whatever. But the problem was I needed subtitles to understand what the fuck they were saying. But mostly because...
Wait a minute. How do you need subtitles to understand what they're saying? You've worked with enough Canadians in your life.
Yeah, but it was so fast.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Really
like, once
fast.
you catch on and you get it, you're like, okay. But in the beginning, it's so fast. Like, it's hard to even keep up with the subtitles because it's just like fucking slime. Like if they had to have like the court reporter lady,
stenographer.
Oh yeah.
If you, it's nice
stenographer.
Nice. Well,
that's a good word. That's a big boy word.
Fucking that would be the lady that would like fucking just have a heart attack and die in the middle of a fucking episode.
I think my wife, somebody in my life, one of the females that I knew when I was younger wanted to be a stenographer,
learn shorthand and everything.
And I was
Are we boring you, Jeff Poole? All I hear.
Did he stop looking at you for a second?
No, I hear all the noise. I'm like, I hear. I'm like, the fuck is that? And he's playing Space Invaders or some shit over there.
Space Invaders is fun. I miss that game, especially playing it while Tekken loaded. That was the best Space Invaders ever. It was like while you're waiting for Tekken to load.
I always liked a game that gave you something to do in the loading screen.
Yeah, that lottery sign ain't gonna make it, is it?
Oh, it is windy.
It is ripping things apart out there.
So I had a
just thought a liar. So I had an awkward sexual experience last night. It'll happen to you more and more as you get older.
I had 5 trees in my front yard. They had all caught some sort of disease and they had all died. I have
fucking just drunk Jason fucking pissing on them trees every fucking day. Wake up the next morning.
It's actually not invalid.
Okay, it's not outside of the realm of possibilities. I got you guys. But listen.
like, hey, what's wrong with the fucking palm tree? You notice it only gets sick on days when I cook? Futurama, fucking Bender.
Oh, I don't remember it.
No.
So, I have 4 of them cut down, cut up, and removed. And the one at the very, very top of my driveway, it's been dead just as long as all the other ones, but it hasn't fallen or broken or anything like that. It's further, well, It's further away from the house. It's not close to my neighbor's trucks, anything like that.
So you don't care if it falls.
I come home 2 days ago when this whole little storm front started, and it blew over. Perfectly ripped the root up out of the ground, fell very nicely into my yard in an area where at my leisure I can go over and cut it up. I was like,
2027.
Man,
That's
perfect.
beautiful.
It's beautiful.
You know what the thing is? There was nothing nice about the way it fell. Like trees are so violent when they go down, dude.
Well, here's the best part about it. So it happened. I worked daylight last week. It fell down in between. I get home like 6 minutes after my kids get off the bus.
There's something different.
No, it's not even that there's something different. I walked into the house and I was like, I looked at my wife and I was like, oh, the kids tell you what happened. And she goes, what do you mean did the kids tell me what happened? I said, the tree fell. They had to walk by the fallen tree. And the kids were like, that tree wasn't fallen, it hadn't fell.
Oh.
So it had fallen in the 4 minutes between when my kids got off the bus and got down to the house.
Nobody heard it.
And no, my wife heard it. She was like, oh, I thought that was thunder. I was like, no, that's definitely the tree fell down in the front of the yard.
Dude, where we hunt, there's just uprooted trees everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's actually kind of incredible that we haven't been out there to like see more. I've seen one go down. Like I was walking back to camp from a tree stand and I just hear this and it wasn't like super close to me, but I look over and I just see the top of the tree go behind the other trees on the other side of the creek. And I was like, finally seen one. But like, I'm sure one of us we're going to go out one of these days. There's just a fucking tree's going to fall on us.
I feel like that raises the age old question. If a tree falls on Corey in the woods, does anyone care?
No. I don't think so.
Okay. Just throwing it out there. Okay.
My wife does because she's going to get a good payday.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Life insurance.
There was a bad storm several years ago before I was married. I was driving this old 1989 Buick LeSabre.
Yes.
And it was
you
awesome.
Like the Buicks.
I called my car Old Gray Balls because it was like an old man car and it handled like it was a bucket of water.
Nice.
So we're sitting in and the one Christmas I had put like a $1,200 stereo system in it.
Of course you did.
So I had this
like every car from fucking high school.
Yeah, you know I had this old Buick LeSabre. I'm in my mid-20s, and I had the $1,200 stereo system in my car. And I mean, dude, that like the car vibrated as it was going down the street.
It did that before you put the stereo in it.
But a friend of mine bought me hubcap spinners, and I put the hubcaps.
Yes,
on my car.
You were that guy.
I was that guy.
I had a neighbor that did that. It was like a fucking Dodge Shadow convertible, and like just bought all the cheapest shit.
Yeah,
for like just make it look as ridiculous as possible.
So we're at my mom and dad's house, and we're down in the basement, and all of a sudden we hear boom, this huge crash. And I walked upstairs and my dad's standing in the kitchen like, what was that, son? I was like, I don't know. Let's go find out. So
wasn't me.
We walked out into the driveway and a tree had fallen right
on your car.
Now, my mom and dad's driveway is probably, I don't know, 18 feet wide. So there are parts of it where you can fit 3 cars side by side.
But most of it,
most of it, it's just 2 cars. And we would park like staggered in the driveway. And we go outside and there's a tree down just amongst, it was my car, Jen's car, my mom's car, my dad's car, and my dad's truck. So there are 5 cars out there.
That motherfucker,
and this tree is just mangled up in the driveway. And we went out and looked and we were like, oh no, here we go, man. And it was just my car that was hit.
Perfect.
There wasn't another branch, another scratch, anything on any other car. And it hit my car. When it fell, the first branch snapped. So on the main trunk, there was this nub that was about this big, right? And that nub hit right where the windshield meets the dashboard is where it hit. Right in the center, and it blew everything in my dashboard into the back seat.
Oh,
that whole,
including your $1,200
stereo system, everything. It was all sitting in the back seat. I was like,
Oh no!
Whoa, this is crazy.
Yeah. So we're talking about nubs. He's getting a little upset over there.
That's what he took from it. For
you
me,
want a
I
toe,
was
dude?
like,
I can get you a toe.
I was like, Oliva should take and make a big cigar and call it the trunk, the whole trunk.
Not the
based
nub,
on
it's the
that,
whole
yeah.
trunk.
The whole trunk or just the nub?
No, I'd say the best tree story with a car I've heard. My buddy, a long time ago now, he had a Ford Ranger. This thing was his pride and joy. Like he got back from Iraq and he bought this truck and he's driving with his girlfriend on his way to church, and the tree branch falls down and he hits it and goes like this down the middle of his truck.
Did it bifurcate?
No, actually they ended up repairing the truck.
No,
but like, it smashed it in pretty good.
I thought it was gonna be cool, like have like the double bubble fucking cockpit, like the Batmobile. Like
Oh, yeah.
61.
Well, he goes, so he takes it, gets it, everything's squared away with that, right? Comes back to because we lived in the same apartment complex, comes back, tells me the story. I'm like, holy shit, he has another car. So he gets in his other car. He's on his way to his brother's house, gets T-boned.
Oh, God.
Jesus.
Next day, a friend of ours had left his car because he was moving or something. He was gone for a couple months. Had left it with us to just like drive it occasionally just to keep it going. But we weren't using it for anything. He's like, called him. He's like, hey, can I use your car? All this stuff happens. Gets in the car, goes to leave. Some guy cuts him off. He comes back in. He's like, I'm done fucking driving. He's like, what? This is one day. And like the dude didn't just like pull out in front of him. Like, dude just straight like 45 right at him. He's like, I'm done. I give up. I got nothing left.
The universe was sending him a message.
It's
He's like, I'm done.
Like I went my whole life without hitting a deer. Wife never hit a deer
With a bullet or an arrow too.
Anything.
Yeah.
With anything. Yeah. Actually, I'm still I'm still good on the hunting front. On the hunting front, I'm in the club. I just started it. It's called 10 Years No Deers.
10 years, no deers.
Yeah. But as far as driving goes, it was, I think, my last year in the oil fields. It'd have been like 2019. Fucking whole life never hit one. Wife never hit one. The two of us, in 6 months, we hit 3 deer in 6 months.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
I didn't total my truck. I hit one with my truck. Truck spent like fucking 2 months in a body shop. Got it back. Then the wife hit a fucking, the deer hit her on the highway. T-boned her, actually. Fucking took off her passenger mirror and fucking dented in the side doors and shit. And then, like, within 2 months of that, I fucking hit another one and truck right back. That truck spent like 5 months in the body shop that year.
Jesus.
It was stupid. So, yeah,
that's
that luck
crazy.
does run out, people.
Speaking of hitting deers, Roberto Perez saved my job once because I hit a deer.
Context.
I was driving a company truck.
Is.
And where 43 picks up down in Wheeling.
Yeah.
I had got on 43 down in Wheeling.
Yeah.
And I'm just starting to get up to speed, and a doe runs out in front of me. Not completely. I hit its head with the front passenger side. Just clipped it. Hit its head, spun it around. The body hits the side panel, and it goes down into the woods. I pull the truck over. Now, mind you, it's 2:30 in the morning. So I parked the truck, pulled my flashlight out. I'm looking. I'd knocked, like the headlight was knocked out, but I'd like stuck it back up in there. And there was no damage to the body. There might have been a dent in the side of the body, right? So I'm like, it's 2:30 in the morning. Like, do I wake someone up just to be like, hey, I hit a deer?
Right.
And I'm like, no, I'm taking it back to the shop. I'm parking it at the shop. I'm going to grab my car and I'm going to go back home. So I sent out an email. I'm like, hey, this is what happened. I took pictures of what went on. And I was like, I don't see the need to wake anybody up at 2:30 in the morning.
You to go for DNA or something.
Logan was like, fire him.
Oh, because you need P tested.
Right. And Roberto was like, no.
I liked Roberto. Good guy.
Yeah, he was like, no, I'm not going to fire him.
Yeah,
He's one of our best operators. I'm not going to do it. And he was like, well, he didn't report this when it happened. And I'm like, yeah, I understand what was going to go on.
Yeah.
You know, Mark was going to have to get up. He was going to have to meet me down here. We were going to have to go for drug and alcohol test. I'm not drunk or stoned.
Yeah. Yeah. Go screw yourself, but like.
But yeah, he saved my job because Roberto called me the next
Call
day.
him Bud Light or just Bud?
Bud.
Oh.
I heard Bud Light too.
Go screw
He
yourself.
said Bud Light.
Yeah. Right. But
Yeah.
Roberto saved my job. He was like, no, let's not fire this guy. It's
So I got two things, and the first one I'll make real quick. So before I go back to Cameron, on the deer note, the first deer I hit was fucking like, it was like 5:30 in the afternoon, like summertime, like perfectly clear.
Midday deer.
You could see everything. And I'm driving down the road, and this fucking deer comes from behind a tree and straight in front of me and stops. And I veer, and he goes the other way. And I veer, and he goes the other way. I'm like, fuck. It was a small doe. Holy shit, I did not know how far a fucking doe could fly. I hit this thing, and it was like a fucking the best punt you've ever seen in your life. This little fucking deer just goes like that's the sound it made. Up, hits the ground, and his deer just keeps fucking rolling because it's a country road in Ohio, and there's nothing on either side to stop this thing. It's just tumbling. Fucking, I sent this deer fucking 50 yards if I sent it a fucking inch. I was watching. It was almost like, well, if this is the way I had to do it, like I felt bad. I'm like, I hope that fucker's dead because just fucking holy shit, did it go far?
Yeah.
All
Sam?
right, back to Cameron.
Oh,
Go ahead.
Got any good I smashed a deer stories?
I don't have one.
Not with his car. Yeah.
I don't have one. Yeah, it had its head stuck in a fence. No, I'd say the most awkward one I've ever seen. I'm coming down a leash road, and there's a dude standing in front of his truck, beating the hell out of his truck, and I'm like, "What the hell are you doing?" He's like, I have no shame in saying this because this guy was a terrible human being. He's like, my wife hit something or whatever, and there was a dead deer laying here, so I figured I'd make it look like a deer did. He's holding this deer by the back legs and just beating this truck. I was like, what in the West Virginia is fucking going on right now? And he was one of these, man, that, you know, he talked to you and whatnot.
Dude, can I ask
you do that pretty well.
How big was this guy?
I've worked with, what's that?
How big was this guy?
He's big boy.
Because I'm just imagining like the Hulk scene with Loki or fucking Bam Bam.
Dude, it looked
from,
like that. Yeah.
Flintstones.
Dude, straight up.
Puny God.
Puny God. Dude, straight up. Yeah, my wife, you know, she coming in there, you know, she hit it, so I figure, you know, this way I get the insurance say it was just deer, no problem there. Just beating the fuck out of his truck. I'm like,
Can we get a oh my God.
All I could do was look at him, and I was like, I'm sitting there in my truck, and I looked at him, and I was like, do you need any help? Like,
yes, but not the kind.
Like, what do I do here?
You know what? You've got to do an entire episode that voice.
That bad, huh?
How did you think you were gonna help him?
I don't. Dude,
if the two of us work together,
dude,
we
it's like
could get
4 o'clock in the morning. You guys know oil filled brain. You don't have a normal brain when you're on that schedule.
Shit.
Just like, can I help? No, man, we good. Ain't a problem. Here we got it.
Oh wow, that was good.
Man,
That was
That's you guys talk about deer, and I'm like, am I gonna tell him?
I was gonna give you credit for the quick reaction with the deer and the head in the fence.
Oh,
That was just totally wiped it out.
But and he got paid by the insurance.
I imagine he did.
He's like, you know, because it made it look like that was a deer smash, and he made sure there was blood. He made sure. Oh yeah, he took the deer with him.
Sure.
Oh yeah,
He fucking slung it over his shoulder.
that, and then
We were gonna eat it.
we had we used to have a game feast at our house all the time, and this guy
Eating Monopoly pieces.
nom 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 nom, but this guy shows up and he's like, I brought a deer. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, you know, you got some venison. He's like, no, I brought the whole deer. One more time. Yeah, I brought the whole deer. And dude, I felt terrible because like he said he hit it with his car. I don't associate with this guy anymore because of it, but like this thing was really little. But man, did it taste good? Like it was real. Well, I mean, it's already. I'm not gonna waste it. So, and we put it on spit and fire roasted it on the spit.
Hey,
so we just kept cutting chunks off.
It's like veal. It's like the venison,
Dude.
the veal of venison, or
Bro.
venison of
Deer
veal.
gyros.
What's that?
Deer gyros.
Basically.
Just shaving it.
Like you'd be sitting there talking. That's how it would go all day. Is like you'd walk over if there was something on a spit, you just walk over and just be like, "That's mine now." Like just cut a piece off.
Oh, that's delicious.
Dude, it was so good.
God, that sounds like
When I
that.
was in the Boilermakers, we were doing a job up in Ohio. Got off like 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning, driving home pitch black, and we're coming down. I think it's Route 7. It's 4 lanes, and not only is there the Jersey barrier divider in the middle, but also on the sides. And there's always got to be that one dude with the biggest truck.
Oh yeah.
Like the biggest lift. I don't remember what it was. Just
The
some lifted
compensator.
black. Yes. Oh, very much. Like
In
just
a world where penises are small.
like I could almost fucking just walk under this truck, right? And I know that's not like hard for me, but like like this thing was high.
I wasn't going to go with the short
I know.
joke, but you just like embraced it. Now all I can think is, we represent the lollipop
Yeah,
kids.
absolutely.
I was more along the lines of thinking about Barney Rubble.
Yeah.
Oh.
So there's a guy that we're carpooling to these jobs. There's like 3 of us in the Bethel area that are all like taking turns driving to save on gas.
Yeah.
And we're in this dude's got like a fucking like a grandma car, like a 1999 Grand Prix or something. It's gold, you know.
I had that car.
Yeah. So I'm up front shotgun, and this dude's like the kind of dude like he was a pretty nice guy and fucking and shit, but like probably like 1 ticket away from losing his license,
Not great. Yeah.
And so we're fucking leaving. We're just get on the highway. We're on the highway for a minute, pitch black. We're in the right lane, and fucking I'm just chilling, man, like talking to people and stuff. And all of a sudden he jerks the car into the left lane. I'm like, what the fuck? I look over just in time to watch this fucking deer sail by my window. Like miss my mirror by this much.
Dude.
And then all of a sudden I was like, whew, that was close. And I was like, that big truck was right behind us. And fucking I turn around to look, and you just see the headlights just go bloop, like the fucking truck hit his speed bump. And we pull over, and we go back, and there's no damage on his truck. It's like, we all good? You good? He's like, yeah, I think so. We look underneath. It looked like someone put a deer in a blender. The whole underbody of this
I ever tell you
truck
about the
was
goose?
Red.
The goose?
Oh, I've got a goose story too, but
Tell me about the goose.
broke
Let's
the
hear
tie
about the
rod.
goose.
No other damage to this truck. You do your goose, and then I
So
got more.
I had the compensator.
I've got a deal. I've got a
I,
goose.
I,
Okay, yeah.
I had 89 F-150 regular cab, short bed, 40s, right?
Yeah.
Badass truck.
I'm gonna
At
need
least
to
it
see your
was At
penis.
least it
Yeah.
was a pre-90s truck.
It's really small.
Dude, this is a lot of work.
If I could have got 60-inch tires on there, but I should have. But no, so I'm coming down Bebout Road right by the lake there, and here I come, and Goose goes right in front of me, and I hear dong. That's it. Boom. What the fuck was that? Okay, so I pull up Turkey Foot. There wasn't houses on Turkey Foot yet. Pull up. There's like a little parking area. I pull over. I look
I thought
underneath.
this was about a goose.
I hit a goose.
Oh, turkey.
hit-
I'm sorry.
It hit the differential,
Uh-huh.
Oh,
flipped back. Its leg went through the U joint. All I found was blood, feathers, and a leg in the U joint.
In the U joint.
Dude, if we had, because we didn't have phones, like I didn't have pictures. It makes me so mad. I called my brother from the house that was like right there, and I'm like, dude, you got to come down here. So my brother comes down because we're like 2 miles from the house.
The one I met yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay.
He comes down and he's like, "Is that a leg?" I was like, "Yeah, it's a leg." He's like, "That's awesome." He's like, "Well, what do you need?" I was like, "Nothing. I just needed someone to see it." It's like, this just needed to be a thing, man. Oh, it was like a Jackson Pollock under there, man.
Well,
The
gross.
pheasants in North Dakota. They were like fucking bugs on your windshield.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
They're
really?
flying across the
Yep.
fucking road. They'd fly
It's that
across the road
bad?
like 1 foot off the road.
Yeah.
We every day we would drive to to
Sorry.
Minot.
Just context.
Compensator.
Yeah, it just showed up.
Every day we'd make this drive to fucking the cigar shop and Walmart. We'd probably hit 3 birds.
Oh,
every
yeah. We
day.
hit birds all constantly.
Oh man.
You'd go pull the truck into the fucking into the man camp, whatever you want to call it. But there's just a dust imprint, a full fucking spread.
Oh, yeah.
eagle
just
fucking
spread birds. Just because
the dander or whatever.
most
their
of
feathers.
the trucks out there were North Dakota two-tone, and that's where the red caliche
Yeah.
is the other color. Okay, so you would see the imprint in the caliche dust of these stinking birds.
It's fucking good.
And so speaking of almost hitting a deer, I was working as a police officer out in East Washington Borough, and I was working the 7 to 3 in the morning shift. Get off work, and all I want to do is get home. And I'm driving this little 5-speed Hyundai Elantra, and I'm coming back 481, and I am flying.
You are not being a responsible
41
person.
mile an hour.
I am flying, and all of a sudden, I'm driving down the road, and I see white. These two little white things pop up as I split these two deer.
It was Eric and VGD
walking. that were walking the same direction I was driving, and I saw the white as their tails turned up and their heads turned backwards. So look at me as I went right between the two of them. I was like, oh my God. I just avoided absolutely mangling my car.
Oh, no.
All right, I'm not even going to touch the one that you want to make me go into there. I'll give you a choice. You're getting both of them, but which do you want first? You got
Goose.
The goose?
Goose.
Okay. So I worked for a company that was a contractor for Comcast for installations and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I did the installations for a while, and I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. I was going to leave. They really liked me. They were like, can we get you to stay? And I was like, well, I'll take the dispatch job. Like, if you want to put me in dispatch, I'd stay, because I just wasn't making enough money on contract on jobs. And so they're like, okay, that's a steady job. Cool, you can have it. And so, like, we had all the Nextel back in the day, the chirps and shit. You know, and so you'd send guys out to jobs and stuff. And we had this one dude fucking named Morrow. Looked like a 1950s greaser kid.
Nice.
Fucking just the dumbest kid you ever met. Like a mimbo. You know what I mean? And he was lazy, never wanted to do nothing. And I had one guy got stuck on a job, and I got a call out for a job that was in like Wittersville, Ohio, that I had to get someone to go to. And this was the only kid that I had available. And so I call him, I'm like, hey man, I need to go out to the shop. And he was like, okay, cool, I'll do it. And I was real surprised. I'm like, I thought he was gonna make up an excuse. And so like 5 minutes later, I get a call, and it was Morrow. He's like, hey, I can't go to that job. I'm like, here we fucking go. And he goes, I can't go out, man. I was driving down the road, and a geese flew through my window. I'm like, a what?
A geese?
A geese. I'm like, you dumb motherfucker. If you're going to make up bullshit-ass excuses, at least get the fucking word right. It's a goose, not a geese. It's a goose. It's either a bunch of geese or a goose. He's like, whatever, I don't care what it's called. I'm like, you fucking piece of shit. And he turned off his phone. I'm like, what a fucking asshole. I drive in the next day, fucking park in the parking lot. There's one of our fleet trucks with a fucking 3-foot diameter hole in the windshield with nothing but blood and white feathers around the fucking outside. I'm like, God damn, no. a geese flew through his window.
A geese flew through his
like, holy shit, motherfucker wasn't lying.
Oh, he wasn't playing.
One more Cameron truck. This was my F-350, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it was my fault, maybe it wasn't. I think there wasn't a lot of mileage on this fucking... It was the Ford extended, so it wasn't Ford door. They had the suicide doors on the back, right? But it was... I think it was the 350. And I was coming back from, like, Waynesburg going on 79 North. If you're not from around here, it's a 4-lane highway. And I'm driving relatively normal speed, 70 mile an hour or whatever. And so it's important to note that this truck like you kept your truck, right? Yeah. It was your truck. You drove it home every day.
That's how ours were too.
So like I've got the dark back window, and I got a couple of decals on there, and I got Darth Vader on one side and a fucking Stormtrooper on the other side, just cool white fucking against the black tinted shit, you know? And so, fucking, I'm driving on the highway, and all of a sudden, I just hear, and the floorboards rattling. And I'm like, the fuck? And the RPMs just start soaring through the roof. And so I let off the gas. I'm like, the fuck? I hit the gas again. Wham! I'm like, okay, I guess I've hit the 4-ways, and I pull off to the side of the road. Fucking smoke coming through the floor. Fortunately, I had a back rack on that, or I had a something. No. We had like the side rail
toolboxes.
Toolboxes And I had in the back there a fucking fire extinguisher mounted. The whole undercarriage of the truck was on fire. I mean, I went and it was just flames.
You're like,
from
shit.
front to back. I was like, the fuck? So I hurry up and put out the shit. A guy pulls over in front of me and puts on his four ways, comes to check on me. Well, what had happened was when you put that in four-wheel drive, I don't know if it's my fault, you have to lock the hubcaps. So
Yeah.
maybe I left them locked, and maybe that wasn't good for the truck.
Nah, that's fine. I mean, it's bad for gas mileage, but it's not.
Less than 100,000 miles on this truck. What happened, the transfer case exploded, and the fucking drive shaft dropped down and hit the fucking ground. It was bouncing. That was the bouncing I felt, and the sparks caught the oil from the fucking transfer case on fire, and the fucking drive shaft exploded into like 3 pieces.
Do you want to know what's scary about that? It's not uncommon.
I was like, holy shit. So the best part about this story is the guy that was passing me as this happened, that pulled over to stop to make sure I was okay. He's like, holy shit, dude, you good? I says, yeah, I got the fire out. I think I'm okay. He was like, I was just passing you. He's like, well, fucking like you're saying, a launcher or something. He's like, I'm just driving along in the left lane, passing you. I'm like, stormtrooper, cool. And then all of a sudden, your truck was on fire. And the look on this guy's face as he was telling the story, just to sit like, cool, stormtrooper. Like, what's up?
Your truck's on fire. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Fucking, oh my God, that was like.
You too can tune into the Cigar Junkies podcast, where you can listen to us talk about stuff we've hit with our vehicles for 45 minutes.
Speaking of which,
yeah.
So I got back from Afghanistan. My brother and I did months on our motorcycles driving around the country. And I hit so many fucking birds. Like you hit a bird in a car and you don't think much of it.
Oh, jeez.
But you hit a bird on a motorcycle, it fucking hurts.
Oh, yeah.
So the first one's in Florida. It hits the windshield of my bike and just poof. It's dark out. I can't see a fucking thing.
Yeah.
I've just got this red stain. Second one. We're driving. Where were we at? I can't remember where it was. It hit me in the knee.
Oh.
And pulled my leg out. Like, hurt like hell. Like all beat up inside my knee. Last one hit me in the chest. It flew perfect. So like bike moving between the windshield and hit me in the chest.
Oh God.
I went like this, grabbed it, fucking squashed it, threw it to the ground. My brother's behind me. He's like, you fucking threw that bird at me. I was like, I wanted that motherfucker dead. He's like, what? I was like, I wanted it dead. He goes, it flew away. And I was like, you son of a bitch. Why'd you tell me? He's like, yeah, it flew. And you met my brother. Now you can see
yeah, I got it. I got it.
I like to think that every time you hit one of those, the little fucking NES dog comes up from behind a bush.
I couldn't hit one with that light gun. My God.
Fuck, nobody could.
No.
The worst thing I ever hit on my motorcycle was a cicada. I was going down 43, and it was right after they built 43. I bought my
Turnpike
motorcycle.
Highway for the people not familiar with the area.
Yeah, it's a toll highway. It's high speed, 75
It's a
miles
road.
an hour. Yeah. So I'm on 43, and I wanted to get on 43 and just open the bike up. That's the only reason I went on it.
Yep.
So I get up on 43, middle of summer. I get this thing out there. I'm doing like 110 miles an hour down the highway on this bike, and I see it. Zoop. Boom! It hit me in the dip in my collarbone. I had a bruise right here for like 3 freaking weeks where that cicada hit me. I was like, I couldn't talk afterwards. I was like,
Yeah.
You know what they say every 7 years? Don't ride your bike on the fucking highway.
My brother caught like a tennis ball sized piece of hail right in the face on the bikes. Oh, I thought he was dead.
oh my God.
Like so we're in Colorado. It's beautiful out. All of a sudden we come around a corner on the
That's how it
mountain
happens.
and it's so I'm like, there's nowhere to pull off. And it's windy, like you can't stop. So he's looking at me and I'm like just go. Like just fucking go.
Maybe at a reasonable speed.
We don't need a car coming up behind us on the road and running us over. So he hits it to try and get ahead of it. And then they start getting bigger. And now the problem is the road is covered in ice balls. And we're on motorcycles. So he starts slowing down to pull over and I watch it go whack. And I just see my brother bend in half backwards.
Oh God.
We got big bags behind us and he goes up and over, and I'm like, he's fucking dead. Like he's dead.
I don't know what
mean,
big bags means.
Like big,
Like
saddlebag?
rucksacks.
Oh no, but like it's like a big suitcase that's made to go on the back seat.
Okay,
So, like,
okay.
we lean back on them. But
All
I mean, they come to like above your shoulders.
Yeah.
It hit him hard enough that he went up and like over the bag. And
Oh, my
I thought
goodness.
I mean, and he's facing me, like it hit him, spun him around, and took him up and over.
You're like, well, I'm going to be burying my brother in the caliche.
Oh, dude, I thought it was game over, right? He sits back down. The bike just immediately pulls over on the white line and stops. And I almost hit him because he just stopped so quick.
Yeah.
And I'm freaked out. I pull over. I look at him. He goes, "The fuck was that?" That's all he said. I mean, it's already purple and it's bleeding. And I was like,
probably cut him.
I was like, "Bud, why don't you get off the bike?" And he's like, "What?" And I'm like, "Why don't you get off the bike?" Like, I'm trying to calm him. I'm thinking he's in shock. Like, you got hit by a car basically in the face.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, bud, I'm good." He's like, "It just fucking, oh, that really hurts." And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "So what are we gonna do about this? Because we're still getting hit with this shit."
You guys wearing helmets or no?
Yeah.
Which
Okay.
is when Sam started opting for the hat
Yeah.
for protection.
Like we've got the leather jackets on. I'm like, well, let's grab our bags. And they have book bags. I'm like, let's put them on and we'll just huddle up. Like,
Yeah.
because this shit hurts.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
Like,
sure.
it fucking hurts. But dude, he was fine. Like, I mean, he had like 4 weeks of the whole side of his face being purple, but other than that,
You
like,
can make a pretty cool story how you were in a fight with some cholo in a bar.
oh, dude, we had all kinds of stories we
Yeah.
were telling different people.
So we're all ex-oil field. What's everybody's take on the fucking cowboy hard hat?
the cowboy.
Because like maybe that should have been the thing you should have
Oh
been wearing.
man, no, the cow. That is the single. You talk about like company men with their
Yes.
their oil rig Oakleys
Uh-huh.
and all that stuff. That there is a level of douchebag
Uh-huh.
that cowboy hard hat hits.
Represents.
Yep.
That is just.
But okay,
You
above
nailed
and
it. You
beyond.
nailed it because it was one EQT company, man, that had it years before anybody else did. And this is the same. That is the only piece of PPE that guy would wear. He'd be in a fucking wife beater, fucking holding on to the wellhead, smoking a cigarette, and a fucking.
Dude, they're so
fucking,
dangerous
like,
too, though. Like,
cutoffs.
hey, here's the thing. Let's make a nice lever point.
Yeah.
Like, why the fuck would you want to wear that?
The thing about
'Cause you're
hard
deep.
hats, though, hard hats are designed so things glance out
Right.
and downwards.
It's a deflector.
Right.
Mm.
And these cowboy hard hats are not designed that way.
Dude, all right. So my previous employer, I like the full brim hats.
Mhm.
I work at a chemical plant. Things spray.
Mm.
So I go to safety once I'm a manager, and I'm like, hey, we need to put these guys all in full brims. Like, shit sprays, it protects them. Like, do that. No, we're not going to do it. So they made it an option, and they gave both options when you went in. Like, some guys wore it, some didn't. 2 guys had a tank pop, so they screwed up, but they pushed water into a hot resin tank, which rapidly expands and blows massive amounts of molten hot resin out the top. It comes
As
down
one
and
does.
showers them.
Yeah.
One guy, full brim hat,
Mhm.
got a small burn the size of a quarter on his shoulder. Other guy, he's disabled for like a whole side of his,
Everywhere.
everything's all completely burned on him. And I walked into safety a week later and I was like, I fucking told you. I'm like,
Mm.
and I'm telling him to tell his lawyers that I told you. They still didn't change the policy because some people in the union didn't like the way it looked.
Oh,
Yeah.
That was the reason they didn't change the hat.
I don't.
It is true.
I don't look like a badass, so I'm not gonna wear
Yep.
that fucking
Yeah.
hard
Yep.
hat.
They wouldn't wear the full brim. They didn't like the way it looked.
So you at Cop Oil Field. I was Boilermaker Oil Field. So like Boilermakers, we had to wear hard hats, but
Mhm.
they were front brim only. And I got in the oil field. I'm like, these hard hats are stupid,
Yeah.
fucking, because they got the fucking full brim the whole way around. And then fucking
Middle of
Quit
summer,
that.
you were okay with that.
quit that, go to steel, and they just got the front brims. And I'm like, these look fucking stupid. So it's whatever you're fucking used to, for sure. What are you
Nothing.
showing off?
I'm scratching my head.
No, I just have to make an edit now.
Yeah, there's a cut that needs to happen. But let's move on from it to
Go.
make the edit smaller. So, anyways, so you started
Did
with
I
your new
say it?
employer.
You did.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Well,
We're looking out for you, buddy.
It's the end of the show. This will be easy to find.
No worries. Cool.
Let's do the
You
events.
got a time marker?
Hour and a half.
Cool. No worries.
Shit.
Yeah,
All of us were like, oh no.
Yeah.
He even spun around in his chair like, oh no.
Cool. Let's
I've
get
done
on with
pretty
it.
good. I didn't even drink this one yet.
Oh.
Yeah, let's go to the events, shall we? For future reference, we just need a signal. Like, what do they use in soccer? A yellow card or
Yellow
red card,
cards or
something
red
like it.
cards.
Just something you could hold up to be like, oh, okay.
Mind you, this is the first time that's ever happened.
Yeah.
Pretty good. We made it past 100.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's all that really matters. Friday, January 19th at Superior Smoke Shop in Natrona. It's the Herklotz in the Heights. Come welcome Michael Herklotz to the Superior Smoke Shop in Natrona. The first Furio, I can't ever say
Ferio Tego.
Ferio Tega. The
Tego.
I messes me up. Tego.
Tego.
Ferio
Tego.
Tego.
There's no A in it. Yeah.
Yeah, that sure. They'll be launching the cigar line at the Superior Smoke Shops. Brand owner Michael Herklotz will be there. Spent most of his adult life working with Davidoff and running Nat Sherman. Don't ask what he did before he was an adult, because reasons.
Yep.
Strong sales team, blah, blah, blah. You know what you need to know. Saturday, January 20th, the Smokestack Everything Tobacco Retro Video Game Night. Everybody loves these events. Come one, come all to the legendary Retro Video Game Night. In
Is that Dave
addition,
and Patty?
Yeah, it's a Dave and Patty production.
stole my thunder. In addition to the favorites, will also be running Agonor Cigar specials
Somebody just
all
kicked
night.
his dog.
More details to come.
Just thunder gone.
A Dave and Patty's production. I always put it at the end. And then you got two.
Yeah, so I actually have three. So Tuesday we're gonna do our first poker night. It's our trial run to see how it goes before we start doing it.
Which I feel like you're stealing my thunder, but okay.
And I have one.
And then okay.
Okay.
And then on the 28th, we're gonna have the Apostate Liberty Pool event.
A prostate.
Yeah, exactly, disease. And we're gonna be doing some karaoke on the 30th.
That's the one where I was like, why did I have to find out this way, Sam?
Honestly, I found out pretty much the same way, and I'm the one doing it.
Who's this DJ fellow?
One of my regulars.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He's just a guy to
Well, we'll talk about it off air.
I get it. I'm like a little bald embarrassment, but like the things that come to pass that I'm like, really? I wasn't included? You know what I mean? Like fucking never got trained to work.
Dude, your
behind the
thunder's
register.
really just getting fucking knocked out
I know.
today.
I forgot all about it, and then whenever I had to talk about it, I'm like, I'm hurt again. You know
It's
what I
just,
mean?
it's just
Because I was like, we
only
don't need to fucking have somebody come in that knows their shit. Like, well, we can take a stab at it. He's like, yeah, I'll let you know when I'm ready. And they get on PCC, and it's like karaoke. It's just a tip, and I'm like,
Well, that's
"Aw."
so we started talking about it, and then all of a sudden, I see that Earl shared it to PCC, and I'm like, cool. Didn't know we made that event. I had
That
no
helps a little
idea.
bit. It helps. a
I
little
didn't
bit.
think we were ready to make an event yet. I was like, oh, okay, that's out now. It's gonna, it starts. Yeah, I guess I should clarify that. The Apostate and Liberty Pool event starts at 1:00. As usual, it's gonna be the last Sunday of the month, and the karaoke is gonna be the last Tuesday of the month this month, and starts at 6:00.
Jason, before you start whatever event it is that you have, it's hard to see you right now because you're a profile in the sun.
Good.
I
It's a
was gonna
beautiful
ask you to
profile,
remove
though.
your hat. Yeah, good for you.
What?
He's just
I
jelly
noticed that you
somebody
had a
has hair.
haircut, and I was actually trying to put that aside, my jealousy, to just be like, oh, he
Ew.
actually looks good.
Yeah, he pulled it off.
That's
His hat.
all.
He pulled his
I
hat
just
off.
wanted to say he looked nice, cleaned up.
Thanks.
So what do you got?
We're going to be doing a murder mystery here in
Ooh.
February.
We just got to figure out dates.
When?
I'm either looking at the 24th or the 17th.
Oh, not the 17th. If you
My
want me to come,
photographer
not
can
the
be here on the
17th.
17th.
What? Not 24th? I'll be in North Carolina. I won't be here then. I'm
Morning
gonna miss this
raise
one.
up. Take
What
your
about your
shirt
wife?
off and spin around your head.
Yeah,
spin
I probably not. So my calendar is as follows. So we have a few events booked for the Junkies coming off of the show last week. We're doing February. Wait. 17th is what?
1/7 Saturday.
17.
Yeah, no, it's no bueno. February 17th. What time?
In the evening.
Yeah, we
probably
haven't
start, like-
hashed all that out yet.
Yeah.
But
Sam and I still have to get
Well,
together.
I'll tell you this right now. February 17th from 7 to 10 p.m. The Strum Junkies will be the first band to perform at the Pittsburgh Bottle Shop under the new ownership of the Bonacontros, who own Smoke
That's kind of cool.
right next door. So the Strum Junkies will be playing the 17th there. Then we are playing March the 16th back at the in Munhall at the Main Street Tavern.
Cool.
Then May the 4th, we
Be with
are
you.
at a private club. I got to get it's a weird initials place over. The name of it's like a private club that has a bowling alley. The name is it's like
It's like the LGB
SNJP, I believe it is, but I'm not 100% on it. We've actually got like
I see what you did there.
I didn't do nothing.
I see.
I didn't
Shows booked this year already.
Oh, I missed it.
kind of
You missed it.
I do that.
Okay.
It happens from time
It's
to
all right.
time.
So that sucks. I was looking forward to you and your wife being there.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, we can. If
Well, I
we don't
got to
do it
double
that
check and
day.
see if we can even do the 17th. So.
Okay.
like
well, we've got to
A
work it
little
out with us,
consideration.
Yeah.
you,
Does
him.
it have to be the Februaries?
It doesn't. I can push it back a little bit, but
Well, here's-
the further I push it back, the longer it's going to take me to get this established, and I want to start doing this on a regular
He wants
basis.
to get after it.
I understand that. If you'd like us to be there, we would love to be here for the first time you do it. But that is like, other than
You're booked on the
poker game-
24th already. Your wife said, so
Yeah.
you can't do it that day either.
Yeah. All right. So 17th or fucking March.
Yeah. Well,
March would be okay for us because
Alrighty.
Shannon's birthday is March 4th. So
She
like,
spelled
I
already
think,
wrong.
I think the first Saturday of March is the 2nd. If you did the 2nd, that would work out with Shannon's birthday weekend.
Ooh.
Just saying.
Ooh, that does sound nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
You get some points in the bag. No.
Okay. So
Everybody's looking at other shit. Go ahead.
I just sent a text message like, "What's the 24th?"
He's like, damn it, woman.
If the photographer can't be there, I don't want to do it.
It's got to his
What
photograph.
kind of murder mystery like needs a
You don't get to
photography?
find out. It's a mystery.
Is that
What type?
part
What,
of it?
what type
Yeah.
of murder mystery needs a photographer? One I want to advertise.
Bum,
Oh,
bum,
okay.
bum.
That was the answer to
Yeah,
the question.
one I want to advertise.
I'm like, okay. Like, I mean, really, you just need somebody laying on the floor.
Because
And-
if I'm going to host it, I'm not going to photograph it. And if I could have somebody who's not involved
Sure.
with the actual acting of the
An actor.
production,
Borrow my fog machine, but only if you do it on the day the weekend comes.
I don't need a fog machine. I hired
Nobody needs
I
a
hired
fog
I
machine.
hired 6 neckbeards to come and vape on the floor.
Fucking right.
Like Kenny.
Yeah.
You say neck beard, that's the only thing I could think of. His beard goes back so far, it like curls up behind his
Oh,
ear.
that kind of neck beard.
But he like trims it here for some reason. And I'm like,
Mine's basically just an unkempt bush.
this dude is very
I like unkempt bush.
Kenny at
Yeah.
work. But I'm like, if you brought it up, it would look like you had a jawline and like would not emphasize the double chin.
Should really just embrace the douchebag chin strap.
Not even a strap,
You've-
like full beard.
Sam,
down
you've
to
got the
here.
jaw for it, dude.
Oh, I do.
You've got the jawline
I'm
for
not
it. And
doing
the little double
wanna-
chin,
Oh, yeah.
you could totally pull off
How
like the
uncomfortable are you now?
Why?
Because you don't like being this grown in.
Oh, I'm very itchy,
Yeah.
but I'm also really
He
lazy.
does not care much.
I've had some either late nights like here at the shop, or I had the last couple weeks of just not feeling well, and I was like, screw it, I'm just going to bed. Like every opportunity I have at home, I'm just sleeping. I'm very excited to get
Yo.
a haircut and
So
trim
maybe.
up.
I'm so sorry. I stepped on you. Maybe not
He's
the
used
first
to it.
one. Maybe not the first one. But maybe there could be some kind of cool fucking hybrid murder mystery karaoke where it's like fucking. It's essentially like the Rocky Horror Show. Everybody's got to like fucking.
It's actually a really good idea,
Everybody's got to sing a song.
but
that,
it's
like,
a
gives
theme
you
song that goes
clues to
throughout
who
the thing.
fucking-
Oh,
So like the background
wow.
music is people singing karaoke. That's actually that's
or,
usable.
Or every song that somebody sings gives you a clue to whether they're guilty or innocent. Like that's Jason's shit right there. Like fucking, it's gonna be all ska songs. I know that.
There's a really one of my favorite ska songs is a song called "She Got Arrested" by the Interpreters.
I wonder if you know this one. Yum yum bumblebee tuna.
Yo.
I love bumblebee tuna.
Yes.
Yum yum.
Yes.
Who is it?
Yes, that is
I want to see if you can say the name.
God damn it.
Love a sandwich made with bumblebee.
Those were a lot of syllables really fast.
Oh, dude,
I don't know what.
And I didn't even do it justice.
So Jason,
Go on. I'm I gotta think.
Mephistopheles.
the person,
I was thinking a mustard plug.
No, it was
so
Mephistopheles.
for number 2, the one that I'm gonna help coordinate with you on, the person that's
He
dead
just
has
signed
to
himself
be-
up.
The person that's dead has to be the sheriff's deputy.
Oh, interestingly enough, you were talking about like game nights and stuff like that.
Gay nights.
Game.
He almost fucking broke his neck turning.
I have a really cool game. Now, okay, get your jokes out fast. I have a game it's a card game. It's called Bang.
Huh? You want to bang?
Right.
That's it. I'm done.
But it's really, really cool. It's a game about like deception.
Sponsored by Trojan.
So it's set up. There is a sheriff, deputies, outlaws, and a renegade. The sheriff's
Ooh, that's fucking got karaoke every word so far.
the sheriff's goal is to kill the renegade and the outlaws.
Okay.
The deputy's goal is to protect the sheriff.
Fuck's my phone?
The outlaw's goal is to kill the sheriff. And the renegade's goal is to be the last man standing with the sheriff.
So it's like rock, paper, scissors.
Sure, but the only person you know who it is the sheriff.
Oh, okay.
The sheriff is the only person whose role is known throughout the table.
Listen, but I'm not into role playing, so
Yeah, you are. Don't your
it's
wife
not
your
how I
wife
roll.
your wife has an entirely different
Jensen,
Your
Clue the
wife?
musical.
Yes. She's a fucking genius.
I gotta hit the head. I'm sorry.
Well, we can end the show.
Yeah,
we can.
I'm sitting here dancing, so
Yeah, okay.
let's call
Everybody's
it.
final thoughts on the cigars. You guys are
I
gonna be
liked it.
more
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like public disclaimer. I like this song.
Cigar. You like this song?
This
too? I
cigar
get it.
too. I like the cigar. They're not all going to be perfect.
No.
It's that's the point. It's a value cigar. They're going to taste good, but they're not all going to perform perfectly.
Just like Corey.
Well, I don't know if I taste good.
Let's say, have you tasted that? But anyways,
No.
Yeah, before we fucking turn to
before I
Eric,
piss my pants,
I would like to say this is a good cigar for the money.
it is a fantastic. Cigar.
Please make sure you guys support Cigars for Warriors and Cigar Rights of America. Links to their websites can be found in every episode description that we do. Thank you for hanging out with us. You can join us here every Sunday morning at 9:30 or
Ish.
10 or 12, depending on the week. Where we'll do the show live. You can join us and hang out with us while we smoke the cigar. Like, subscribe, and share on every platform. If you're not, why not? You know what I mean? Get to it, pitter patter.
Salud.